Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you this Suaoki portable outdoor shower system and explain to you why something like this could really come in handy in a disaster. Alright, thank you for joining me today and happy February. Can't believe January's gone already. Anyway folks, I wanted to show you this system because I feel something very, very important after a disasters, emergencies, whatever, is sanitation. Okay, after a prolonged disaster, sanitation will become very, very important. Let's say the last 100 years, the reason why life expectancy has increased so much, along with medicine and great advances in surgery and everything else, has been the fact that we are a very clean society. We take showers, we use hand sanitizer, whatever, Some people overuse hand sanitizer, but sanitation has given us a much longer life. People don't die of the same diseases that they used to years ago, just from getting a cut infected, Keeping yourself and your environment clean is pretty important. And also after disaster, there are going to be a whole lot of things you might be doing outside without proper protective gear. Think about people who, you have an earthquake. You live in California, you have a big earthquake, and you're out there moving rubble, trying to find people under a house, under a building, whatever. You're going to get filthy, of course. You're going to be outside in an area like we are here in the desert, and something happens in the summer, we're going to be sweaty and nasty. And that is the way that, if you're digging in the dirt, whatever, that is the way that a small little paper cut can become a life-threatening infection. So you're definitely going to want to think about sanitation. Now, this is a kit that I found on Amazon. I believe these run $25.54, and I'm going to explain to you how it all goes together. It's a very simple system. If you don't want to buy something like this, you can build something, and I'll show you. Let me move it over here. Let's move that there. You can build something like that. Now I'm going to move the camera, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is a sprayer, for bugs or for weeds or whatever. I bought this new. Painted it all black to seal in the heat. Basically, you fill this up with water, put it outside for a few hours, let the heat build up, pump it, and you've got a handy little handle here that will give you a nice shower. Okay, so that's one way to do it too. This is just another option. It's a little bit smaller, a little less bulkier, doesn't require as much work. So let me get this out of the way. All right, back over here. So I want to show you how this works. It's really simple, really. It's a battery, a pump, and a tube. Really simple. You do need a 5-gallon bucket or any kind of water source. You could use it from a horse trough, whatever. Anywhere where you can get some good, decent, purified water that you would feel safe showering in. It doesn't need to be, completely purified, but definitely okay to wash up in. And you would put something like this to use. Now, this works pretty much like this. This is your charging cable. Now, a neat part of this is your battery. But this battery is not sealed, so it doesn't go in the water. It lives outside of the bucket. It is, I believe, IPX5. So if it gets wet, it's not going to destroy it, but you don't want to soak it in water. This is your charging cable. You're going to want to charge this up fully the first time you use it. You'll plug it in here, plug it into a USB port, and you're good to go. This makes this rechargeable via the sun if you have a solar panel. Really handy item. So that's the rechargeable cable. But for our uses today, we're actually going to use this. So you're going to take this plug on your pump here. You're going to take that, place it in there, and you'll see there's two little things there. Twist it, and you're good. Now your next step is going to be, let me get this out of the way. Next step is going to be hooking it up. This is the simple part. You're going to want to put this shower head on here. There is a small O-ring that comes with it. You just stick it in here so it doesn't leak. And you're going to just screw that shower head on here. There you go. This piece threads through this thing here and down over your connector. And you don't have to get it on too far. I've tested this a few times. As long as you get it down about to there, that's good. We're not looking for sealing it all the way down there. Now pretty much this is ready to go. You're going to stick this outside of your 5-gallon bucket or water source. You're going to stick this in your water source, turn it on, and have water flow. And we are going to demo this in a minute, but I want to give you a little bit of information on it. It's got a very, very high flow rate. You'll be amazed at how quickly it goes through water. So you may want to use this kind of intermittently. You know, you want to soap up and then turn it off, come back, rinse off. It will definitely rinse you off. This also has a hanging system, so you can hang this in your shower. You can still use your shower, okay? You just may not have water at the time. So you can do it this way or this way with a hanger, whatever. It has the USB input, which is really neat because you can charge it via USB. You can use a power bank. You can use pretty much whatever you want to charge this back up, even a solar panel. So that's kind of cool in an emergency situation where you may not have power. It's really, really compact. As you see, it's easy to store, even fully assembled. This is not a big package. You could almost fit that in a backpack. I wouldn't want to lug it around, but you know what I mean. It's definitely fittable in a backpack. This is supposedly 100% waterproof. They have upgraded this. Some of the complaints earlier were that the motor was in here and it was getting wet and rusting off. So I would suggest, even though they've upgraded it and waterproofed it from what I've seen on the company page, you definitely want to shake this out and let it dry up good before putting it away. You don't want to put it away sopping wet. So that's pretty much simple instructions for it. It runs about 2554. That's what it runs. And the way I use it with a 5-gallon bucket, you know, I would just paint the 5-gallon bucket black, paint a lid black. You're painting it black to hold in the heat inside the bucket. Stick the water outside, you know, for a couple hours. I believe when I made my other unit, I tested it for about 4 hours or 2 hours. It wasn't very long, and I was able to get water up to 140 degrees. Now that was in the summertime. This isn't always going to work. You can boil the water and stick it in there and let it cool off a bit before you take your shower. You can do a bunch of different ways. Anyway, that's how you do it. You just paint the bucket black, paint the top black, fill it up with water, stick it outside, you'd be good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this all up outside, and we're going to try it out and see how it works. And we'll come back in and I'll give you my final thoughts on it. So let's take it outside. So we're all set up outside here. I've got the pump down in the water, as you can tell. I've got the battery and the power button here. So let's try this out. And there's the water. Now, for a little tiny pump, that's putting out a pretty decent stream of water. I hope you can, yeah, you can see that. I'm on camera. I tested this out in a little tiny cup the other day. You know, like a 16-ounce cup. I was amazed at how the water just like sucked right up. But you got more than enough time here to get a decent shower out of this without too much of a hassle. And it is a decent flow rate. It's not like a tiny little, non-existent flow rate. Now let's say you're done soaping up. You're done wetting yourself down. You want to soap up. You sit there. You still got about, I overfilled it, so you probably got about 4 3/4 gallons. Turn it back on again. And there we go again. So it will last a good long time with a full 5-gallon bucket. And if you leave the bucket out in sunlight or in the daytime, it will work very, very well. Now when you're all done, turn it off, pull it up, and I'm just going to run it dry. And I would let this pump, again, dry itself out really well so you don't get any kind of water in on the motor. I think they've sealed it up effectively now. And you should be good to go. So let's take it inside and I'll give you my final thoughts on it. All right, so there you go. All taken apart, ready to be put away. I am going to let this dry out because as you can tell, there's still a little bit of water in it. Just to be safe. That was the only complaint I saw with the first version of it, was that water was getting in there where the motor was and making the motor rust. According to what I've read, they've sealed it up better inside now, so there's no more problem with that. When I took the top off here, just take a look, it looked like it was sealed up very well. So it's a very simple system to use. It's very easy, and as I mentioned before, you see how important sanitation is. You know, I remember, God, years ago, Patriot Nurse did a video on how the most common things will be what kills you. It's not going to be like a sniper's bullet from some hide somewhere in the middle of the desert. It's going to be that little cut you got on your finger that you got infected and it got to your bloodstream and eventually shut down your whole system. So sanitation after a disaster or emergency for preppers is really, really, really important. And even if you're just washing your hands with this, you know, if you keep this outside, when you go outside, when you come in, you wash your hands. This could even be set up in some kind of effective decontamination system. And that could be a whole nother video of itself on decon. But it could wash off all sorts of contaminants that are on a person before they enter a clean zone. So it definitely has a place. And for, $25.54, $26, you really can't beat it. Now, the specifications, it's 3.7 volts. The electric flow is 2.5 amps, and the battery is a 2,200 milliamp battery in there. It is not openable or serviceable, so you can't do anything with it. Probably could rig up a different kind of system if for some reason that battery were to ever not work. The charging is 5-volt USB, like I showed you. So it can be charged from a plug, from a computer, from a lot of the solar panels that they sell, the little portable solar panels, pretty much anything. Even inverters now have USB plugs in them. Charging time takes 2 to 5 hours depending on your charger. So if you're using a slow charging, traditional plug-in type system, it might take longer. And the pump dimension is 2.4 inches by 4.7 inches. And I believe this weighs 0.7 pounds altogether. So it's not a super heavy item. It is actually made very well. I have to say the tubing is really nice. It doesn't shrink up when you run a suction. This actually feels fairly well made. I mean, it's plastic, but it doesn't have that cheap, junky plastic feel to it. So I'm going to let this sit out here and finish up. And I will put a link down below. I'll let it finish drying. I'll put a link down below where you can pick this up on Amazon. And again, if you don't want to buy this unit, if you see another unit that's better, if you want to make your own, do it. I don't make anything off you, I'm not being sponsored to do this. So my main goal here is to keep you guys clean and healthy after a disaster. And that's more important than, buying or selling a certain product. If you find a better one that'll work better for your situation, by all means, go for it. My point really today is reminding you that sanitation is a very important part of survival, especially in a grid down or collapse scenario, where nothing's running, nothing's working. That's a way to keep yourself clean. And with a bare minimum bit of hygiene, you might be able to stave off a lot of stuff that other people can't. So I will put the link down below if you're interested in picking up this particular system. Below that is my Amazon link. Don't forget to check that out. It's the Amazon store. Pretty much everything I review, I put in there so you guys can check it out. If you don't see anything in the store you like, just shop as you normally would on Amazon. Click the link and search on Amazon. Search for whatever you're looking for. Really helps out the channel. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link down below. If you're looking to stock up on freeze-dried food right now, this is a good time. There's a lot of sales going on. So check it out. Make sure you get yourself stocked up on some good freeze-dried food. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.